was born in Anaheim. I was born between Gilbert and Brookhurst, just south of the freeway in a little ranch. I attended Anaheim High School. I didn't graduate. They gave me my diploma in 1943, but I should have been in the class of 42. I had sufficient credits to be a class of 42. I was a student at Santana College. I was there for one semester, and then right away I had a letter at home. Your friends and neighbors selected you for active duty. I went in actually in 43 because my mother was very sick. She could not walk. And I got a deferment. So I actually went in 43. So I wound up in Fort Benning, Georgia. I had a friend. She was from Auburn University. In fact, she was one of the cheerleaders. And she wanted to learn how to dance the American jitterbug, which, the people that are from the country, they didn't know anything about Glenn Miller music, nothing like that, typical country music. And she says, well, I want to learn. I said, well, the father asked her, what is he? Is he a Puerto Rican? I said, no, he's not Puerto Rican. I said, he's a Mexican-American by his father and Native American by my mother, see? And so we went, his parents, I don't know where they went for a few days, so I went with her I spent 3 nights with her in Jekyll Island in Georgia. They had a beautiful place there. Coming back, she hit a telephone pole. So that's why I have one leg shorter than the other one. So they sent me to a hospital, and it was not an Army hospital. It was a hospital in Georgia. And then they sent me to some hospital in Philadelphia because I had a specialist there that used to work something like a boot. You didn't have a cast. So that's what saved me from going with the 17th or the 100 or the 11th or even 92nd Ward. If ever I was in North Carolina, and they came and interviewed me. There was a man. They worked for, typical soldier. He says, where do you live? I says, I live in California. I says, what's your address? I says, Route 1. She says, do you know what Route 1 stands for? Yes, says people that live out in the country. Route 1. And then they sent me to a school in New York. I didn't know anybody, nobody. See, all my buddies, they were already gone. And I worked in the postal department for a while in New York City with all the civilians there. And then they sent me back to Georgia. And they sent me to Camp Gordon, Georgia. That's the place where the 82nd Airborne originated. And so I went overseas with a different group. I didn't know anybody anymore. I was assigned to the 802 Field Artillery. The reason I was assigned there because they asked me if I knew how many yards were here to there. This fellow from engineers came by, and I told him how many. Hey, he says, this guy knows his mathematics. So I got assigned to the field artillery because our artillery, they were throwing short fuses, so they were killing our own men. See? And this way, I worked with the Signal Corps Department. They were sending messages. I says, it's a short fuse. It says, you have to go about 500 feet more to hit that target. So that's how I got assigned. I served in Italy, in Sicily. that's where the 82nd Airborne was, and they assigned me to as a forward observer in the artillery. In the Colonia, they used to have the railroad tanks. They used to come in, and they used to the companies that they used to sell the gas to. So we used to go and talk to some of those fellows that work in the tanks, and I says, "How come you're doing that?" He said, "We have to let the air go out so we can ship the gas wherever it's got to go." So they sent me to a place. I think the name of the thing was Castel. So we used to pump the gas from Pastel to across the river, across the Rhine River. So all the tankers will come and fill up, and take the gas to the Air Force. When we passed the Rhine River, the guys tied a rope on me and tied to the barge. See, because I didn't know how to swim. Everybody knew how to swim except me. Like my brothers, they know how to swim very good. I never learned how to swim. See? I got injured by my own man. It happened this way. He said something I didn't like. He's a pretty big guy. Like I said, I was in boxing, all those years. And I hit his body, I knocked his body down. He was a pretty big guy. And then this guy got a bottle. He cracked the bottle right in my head, right here. I got a scar about that big. And the captain asked me, the doctor asked me, "Well, how'd you get that?" "Oh, some guy wanted to kill me, so that's what he did." So that could not come as a injury or get a pension from that. Had to be service connected. You see, to be a Jeep driver, believe it or not, you have to go 6 weeks training. And the motor pool sergeant liked me a lot because he used to see me box with some of the guys there, see? And he says, "Have you ever driven a Jeep?" I said, "No, never." He said, "Here's the keys. Yeah, go around the motor pool." So I started the Jeep, and I went, released the handbrake, and I went around, got stopped. He said, "Stop right here." So I stopped right there, and I put the handbrake on, and then I took the key out. So I gave him the keys. "No, those keys are going to be for you." He says, "Tomorrow you're going to take this was after the war, "you're going to take this man to Yugoslavia." I got discharged in, I think it was May of '46. I transferred over to Long Beach City College. And then some fellow told me that they had a very good architectural drawing plan in Long Beach Business Technology. So I enrolled in business technology, and they helped me a lot in life. I was a carpenter by profession, and I turned a friend of mine. We turned contractors. We did some small businesses and a lot of homes. I got involved. I'll tell you how I got involved with the schools. Maggie Carrillo, she was the principal for Anaheim High School. I was talking to this young group in a junior high, and she says, "Well, why don't you come and speak to our group in Anaheim High School?" So I did, and then I volunteered with that's how I met a lot of school teachers in Anaheim High School, because I got involved helping the guys in our community, for them to stay in school and for the betterment not only for themselves but also their families and the community too. So I joined this club I was supposed to be in the elite club of Latinos in Santana. And Rudy Casarita, he says, well, what do you do, Jess? I said, I told him what I did. I says, well, why don't you come to San Ana? That's how I got him on Santana. So the main thing I should tell him, you stay in school. You want to be somebody, not only for yourself, your community is going to be very proud of you.